Well, we just landed in Panama City. We're on our way back home to the United States. And we figured that there's no better time than to tell you guys a little bit about what life is like in Panama. And
specifically, the regrets that we have about moving here to Panama.
This is gonna be some things that we've never talked about before. Things that we don't like about living in Panama. And we'll tell you all about it on our trip back to the United States. We have a little bit of a layover. We have about 5 hours to kill. So we're hopping in an Uber. We're gonna run off to the old town of Panama City. Not only because it's awesome, not only because it's beautiful, but they have really good food there.
You wanna go get some food?
After talking about how much we love living in Panama for the last 4 years, a lot of you guys have been asking us, hey, what are some of the stuff you don't love about living in Panama? Especially a lot of you guys that are thinking about moving here.
It still blows my mind every single time we come to Panama City and seeing the skyline here. It just reminds me of the first time that we came to Panama City and just being absolutely mind blown after traveling through Central America, seeing nothing like this. Every time I come here, I'm like, man, it really feels like we just landed in Miami.
Okay, so the first thing that makes it a little bit challenging about living here in Panama is buying stuff, because we get gringo prices. So because Kaylee and I clearly are not from here, because we're foreigners, we get priced at a different price. It's a higher price. And this is with everything from buying a car, to buying property, to taking a taxi, to even buying fruit or food on the side of the road. When it comes to being in a restaurant like this with roasted prices, it's not so much a problem because the price is right there. But basically anytime a price isn't listed, especially if it's something like a big purchase like a car or a piece of land, we basically have to have a Panamanian go and negotiate for us. So I think you could imagine how sometimes the biggest purchases in your life, like a piece of land or a car or stuff like that, it just adds another level of complexity having someone else involved to kind of like negotiate and help on your behalf.
Something that I think Jordan and I both regret and did not expect it to be as bad as it is the trash situation here. Unfortunately, pretty much everywhere you look here, there's just trash, and whether it's like buried in with the dirt or it's just blatantly just kind of piles of it on the side of the road. It's one of those things that they just don't have the systems in place here to dispose of it correctly or recycle it correctly.
Personally, for me, I would say the biggest problem I have living here is hands down my allergies. For about 5 or 6 months out of the year, I have a nasty allergy to some kind of pollen or some kind of dust. And it's so bad that my face is so puffy. You guys have probably seen it in the videos. And even like the strongest allergy medication doesn't even do anything. And the only time that it stops is when it's raining. So the best time of the year, which is the dry season, my allergies just kick my butt. So I have to just learn to love the rain. Honey, I want to talk about something that I know that you want to talk about. That's organic produce. Kaylee buys a lot of our fruits and vegetables that are imported from other countries because they're organic. There's very little that's produced here that's organic. Pesticide usage and the fungicide usage is very, very high. And a lot of that is to do with living in the jungle. Like everything is so alive here. Everything has mold on it, and the insects are just so much more aggressive, and there's so many of them.
And it's so funny because like a lot of my friends back home are like, oh my God, like the produce down there must be amazing. Like you think like being in the tropics, like everything is so fresh and delicious, and it is. But
it's kind of back to that debate of what's better, local or organic. After working with a food, which is coffee, after working in the coffee industry, we've learned so much about how organic and other classifications are bogus. Unfortunately, you can't always trust what you read on the label. And for me, I don't want to be lied to. So I'll just buy the local stuff.
I think that's why it is just so freaking important for me, for us, to really grow our own food. And I think that's another thing that I kind of regret, or just did not expect it to be such a challenge here, is growing our own food. And yes, we have grown some stuff, but not to the capacity that we really want to. One of the things that I absolutely hate the most is being misinformed about something and then learning what the actual truth is later on. A lot of you guys already know I'm pretty obsessed when it comes to health. And one of the things that I have been very consistent with taking every single day for years now has been a probiotic probiotic. Something that I actually learned though recently is that a lot of the probiotics on the market don't even do the job that they're supposed to do, because a lot of the times, by the time it makes it to your stomach, your body has already broken it down. So when Seed reached out and asked to sponsor one of our videos, I was so thrilled, because these guys have actually done their due diligence to make sure they have the best probiotic on the market. So something that they do, which I think was absolutely genius, is it's basically a supplement within a supplement. So you have the prebiotic, which is on the outside of the capsule, and then inside you have the probiotics. So that makes sure your body absorbs it and utilizes it properly. Seed helps with everything from gut health to skin health, even cardiovascular health. So if you guys are interested in trying Seed out, click the link down below, use our code Nomadic, and you will get 30% off your first order.
I'm calling an Uber. $18, $19 for a 30-minute Uber ride. You gotta love it.
I just gotta give my girl right here an absolute shout out right now, because she has been crushing the travel for the last 48 hours. We're not done yet. We still got about 8 more hours to go and before we touch down into Boston, but traveling with a toddler is no joke. Trying to make sure you have everything you need. You gotta carry the car seat around with you. It is raining, baby. And although we have had some little, you know, moments here and there where it's gotten a little bit tricky, a little bit challenging, for the most part, overall, I think this little lady is gonna be a traveler when she gets older.
Wait, it's humid here. Can you guys see the humidity on this camera? Oh my goodness, it is hot and wet. It feels like you're swimming and you're not in water. You wanna see a farm baby interact with technology for the first time? Watch this. Go ahead. Oh.
It's actually hilarious over the last few days when we see Sade interacting with other babies or other kids her age. The difference between a farm child and a city child is pretty significant. I mean, she's going around telling everybody to get naked and take their shoes off. Literally.
We're about to get on the plane. One last leg on this long travel journey. And we're back in Boston. Now we just have to sit here for 6 hours.
That's it, that's all we gotta do.
I have a little travel hack for you guys, for those of you that are flying Copa. What you do is you book just a regular ticket, like the cheapest ticket that you can get on Copa. Doesn't matter if you have no leg room, just get the cheapest one. And then you just wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you watch. And eventually, you'll be able to upgrade to business class for like $150. Now normally I wouldn't do that, like normally I wouldn't care. Like I'd be like, stick me in the back of the plane, I don't care. But with a baby, where she can't have her own seat yet, and she has to sit on Kaylee's lap, this is like crucial right now. Because she's like too big right now to just sit on our lap with another person. It'd be like 4 people in one row. And for this was $200 for both of us to upgrade. You say take off? Just 5 hours and we'll be down on the ground in Boston in no time. Gracias a Dios. Gracias. Hola, ¿cómo estás? That's always the thing, dude. I always say hola to like the first 4 people I see when I get off the plane in Boston.
It's gonna take at least 24 hours to adjust.
At least we look super cultured, you know? Just speaking Spanish to everyone.
Something else that I regret, that I definitely did not think that I was gonna feel as deeply as I do, and I think more so now because of Sadie, is how much I was gonna miss our family. We spent the last few days seeing family, seeing friends that we haven't seen for a long time, doing a bunch of fun stuff, and it's just been awesome being back here for a little bit. But now we're back in our Airstream. We're back in our home in the United States. And this is like the first time that we've had a home to come back to in 7 years since we decided to first leave. Coming back in here just feels so good. And I know this video has been a lot about regrets, but this Airstream is definitely not a regret. This thing is freaking awesome. And now we get to live in here for the next few weeks while we're home. Yeah.
But as you can tell from my voice, I'm wiped. So We got a big day ahead of us tomorrow. I got a big day ahead of me tomorrow.
You got a big day ahead of you.
We got another big road trip coming up. So I'll see you guys bright and early. We are driving north, baby. We are going about 4 hours north up into Vermont, going to Stowe, Vermont. Do you guys know how hard it is to own your own business and be over 2,000 miles away from it and not even step foot in there for 6 months? Like, I gotta get up to the roastery. I gotta get up to our business now. I can't wait anymore. I'm just so excited right now. For those of you that were a part of it, building this business was a dream for me. It was always my dream to have my own restaurant, but the dream was never to spend this much time away from it. Just, that's kind of how things have shook out. Originally, when we moved to Panama, the goal was to open a business there and build a small business in our town of Boquete. And we started even looking into it, but we realized pretty quickly a lot of the labor laws and hiring practices in Panama make it really, really hard. And when you're doing something like starting your own business and basically putting so much energy and basically what would have been our life's work into something, I wasn't ready to kind of take that additional layer of risk. So for example, one of the labor laws in Panama is to hire someone who's not Panamanian, you have to first have 10 Panamanian employees. And working with Panamanians isn't the problem at all. It's just the handcuffing yourself like that and having those restrictions. When it comes to opening a business, that wasn't a restriction that I wanted to have. I wanted to be able to hire and work with not only whoever we wanted, but the best people that we could find, no matter where they were from. Because ultimately, that's what I think leads to a great business, is great people. Desperate times call for desperate measures. This is gonna be a long ride and I need something to keep me going. And I also needed something so I could take my seed. Something in the past that has made taking probiotics a bit of a challenge for me is the fact that you usually have to keep them refrigerated. And as you can tell, I'm a guy on the move. But with seed, you can take these probiotics on the road with you. And I love tangible stuff like this, or you can see the difference with your eyes. Like the fact that it's a pill inside of a pill with the whole idea of getting these probiotics into your gut. I love that. And I love that they're kind of like opening the door and sharing the truth about probiotics. And it's not just about taking probiotics, but getting the probiotics into your belly. So I just want to take a minute to thank Seed for sponsoring this video, helping make all of this possible. If you guys want to check them out, there is a discount down in the description below, and I'll help you save a few bucks on your order with Seed. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is freaking Stowe, you guys. Look at, there's a Volkswagen bus in front of me. Super old school, a couple campers in there. And this is just good old school New England, baby. Look at how beautiful downtown Stowe is. Just outside of town, right up here, is where I'm headed. Oh my God, I just can't wait to see it again and get inside there. Oh, there it is! Oh man, the last time I saw it, it was covered in snow. Like, a ton of snow. Wow, there are a ton of cars here, holy cow. Look how many people are here, the whole parking lot's totally full. Well, you guys, I'm gonna go and run inside, say what's up to our team, and work in the roastery for a little while. Work in the roastery for a few weeks. I'm so excited to be back. I'm so excited to see these guys because they've done an amazing job holding it down while we've been gone. And I've just been looking forward to this day. I've been looking forward to getting back here. So this is where I'm gonna end this one. This is where I'm gonna end this video. But if you guys wanna come and see us in the roastery, Kaylee and I will be here from June 4th to the 12th. Coming up to Stowe, Vermont. We'd love to give you a hug, serve you some coffee. It's gonna be a great time. But thank you guys so much for following along. We love you, and we'll see you on the next one.